We've had explosive nights before. We've had guests, but we've never had a guest like this one for sure, because she has some common ground with me, as in the wonderful world of bowling. We're going to get into that here in a little bit, and we'll introduce you to our guest here in just a second. It is Wednesday night. We're sweeping the league, and we're going to specifically sweep the Dallas Cowboys tonight with our special guest. And also, again, sweeping the game of bowling. We're going to talk a lot of bowling. We're going to talk about being a millennial mom and a Gen X dad, because I think I'm still Gen X, so a Gen X dad. All in all tonight on Sweep the League. Rudy Campos Jr., The Rock, Rocky Garza, back with us. Stats is with us. Derek Gervin is with Team Gervin still. Shemaya, he's going to be back in September. Everybody wondering what's going on with Shemaya. We'll get all that when he comes back. Also, Baller Boys podcast every Tuesday night. Stats and Shemaya break down all the wonderful world of basketball, among other sports, on the Baller Boys podcast. I am Refocused Radio as well. That is Shemaya's podcast. Interviews with Kenny Anderson, former New Jersey Nets player, NBA all-around player. Tons of great stuff out there. Go check those out where podcasts are. Oh, okay. First off, all you assholes out there, for real, y'all are disrespecting this lady here by y'all's scores. I've seen scores of 84. I've seen scores of 90, 115. I just got scolded by our guest, Candice Avila Garcia. She yelled at me. She's saying, "What the hell is going on with all these scores?" We're going to get to the bottom of that. But Candice, welcome to Sweep the League. This is probably the first of hopefully many times we'll get you back on the podcast.
For sure, guys. And I'm so excited to be here. Like, yeah, I mean, okay, first of all, this A4, like, 84. I mean, come on. Like, no, I think there was even a 37.
What's
I'm like, I would have had to gutter like almost every frame. Like, okay, here's the thing. If you hear me saying bowling terminology, that should be a clear sign that I know how to bowl. Just saying.
I didn't want to give it away because I said she's been bowling one or two times. So yeah. I didn't want to give it away that you were an actual bowler. And I'm not going to lie, some of the people on the bowling question, they are bowlers. I bowled with them, and I bowled them for a long time. Paul Smith, he's a Hall of Famer in San Antonio for bowling. And he said 93 for you. I mean, the disrespect that you got is bad, but we're going to get into that bowling talk later. Rock, are you doing okay, man? I forgot to check on you and Stats. For all I know, you guys are in rehab, and I don't even know this.
Yeah, I am in rehab, because the Cowboys just disappoint me every year. So I know we're going to be talking about that, but I'm in rehab for having hope. Just too much drugs I have to cope with my pain. But yeah, it's a good sign. I had some good workout off some pre-workout. I was telling you and you and Candice. So yeah.
Yeah, are you doping? Like, for real? You gotta be, because of the Cowboy season coming up. You gotta have some kind of rage.
Nah, dude. The only thing that I'm drinking, I guess you can say that's toxic, is my beer that I used to cope with the Cowboys' losses and sorrows, and I know there's gonna be a lot this year, so I'll be drinking a lot of beer.
You brought up beer. I'm gonna give me a second on that. Stats, the week, man. Are you okay? Because you got the sweeper keep challenge. We got that. We got to get into as well. Real quick, mention the winner on that, and I think I got the winner somewhere here. But you got the sweeper keep challenge. How you feeling the Cowboys? You ready to talk Cowboys?
Oh, absolutely. I'm always ready to talk Cowboys.
You're ready to shit all over the Cowboys.
I don't have a horse in this race, Rudy. I just have fun with it.
Oh, see, now don't be afraid of Candice. Don't be afraid of Candice. Don't be afraid of her. Trust me. But beer, check this out. I'm walking to the podcast to do the podcast with you guys. And my daughter, and she's 9, all of a sudden I just hear 90 bottles of beer in the wall, 90. And I'm like, holy shit. Okay, so she knows I'm a drunk, probably. I mean, I've been drunk a few times. Is it wrong? I'm gonna ask Candice, because Rock doesn't have a kid that he knows of. I know Stats doesn't have a kid.
Not that we know of.
Not that you know of. Both of y'all may have kids, and y'all just don't know it. But I know Candice is a mom. If your child is seeing that at such a young age, does that kind of reflect a really bad thing on you?
I don't think so. I would say the fact that they're singing songs that were around back in the I don't want to age you, Rudy, but maybe 80s, 90s, you know?
Ooh, yeah. Thanks for that. Appreciate that.
I mean, you know what I mean? The fact that they're bringing up this, those kind of songs, like I feel like that's kind of cool. Like, I know I grew up, listening to back in the day, like when I grew up in the 90s, was like I was listening to like 60s music and 50s and 70s, and that's because I was surrounded by that, with my family. And so I think, for your daughter to be singing that, I mean, like rock on,
But 90 bottles of beer on the wall, like the beer song, that's fine. That's fine.
I mean, hey, it's counting. It's counting.
Oh, you see, there's always a positive in some to this.
I got you, and I'm the positive person here. I will find a positive way to turn anything, and also I'm a PR person, so I will spin anything to make it look good. So
we're gonna see if that works on the Cowboys here in a second.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, challenge accepted. What were you gonna say, Stats? I know you had something on your mind.
I was just gonna say, I mean, songs like "Ring Around the Rosie" aren't exactly.
Well, yeah, I figured. Come on, you're 9. What happened to the wheel on the bus goes round and round? Or is she just too old for that shit now?
It's Cocomelon. That's all about Cocomelon now. That's all that Cocomelon is.
Well, she's a massive Billie Eilish fan, and I just found out who Billie Eilish is. I didn't know who The Weeknd was. I mean, like I said, The Weeknd for me, when we're in the studio, have you heard The Weeknd? I'm like, well, Saturday, Sunday is like all I know. I don't know what else there is, but Rock gives me shit about that all the time. Well, speaking of shit, we're gonna talk Dallas Cowboys because we're gonna let Candice and Rock have their fun in the sun here because I am an Atlanta Falcons fan. I know it's terrible. Been to 2 Super Bowls, haven't won any, so I can't really say anything. But the Cowboys, every year is their year. Every single year. It's a bad broken record. Candice, give me your absolute 100% thoughts. Is this the year that the Cowboys make some noise other than the toilet flushing at the end of it?
You went there.
I had to.
I mean, like I said, I think let's just say that the Cowboys culture in general, right? Like there's just something about the culture of being a Cowboys fan that you're always going to believe that no matter what, it could be like Prescott's like done for the season or, Ezekiel is out, whatever it is, your best players, and no matter what, you're always going to say it's your year because it's like coming off a fresh, like a new relationship, right? It's like, this is the one, like this is the one I'm going to marry. It's going to be this one. And sometimes it doesn't happen that way, right? You get kind of close and then things just fall apart. But I just feel like the Cowboys culture is like super like tight knit. I mean, like look at San Antonio, for instance. Like San Antonio, we don't have a football team here yet, right? Mm-hmm. But it's like San Antonio is Cowboys nation. Like everyone I know is almost a Cowboys fan. Yes, there's like the Texans here and there, and you got some Green Bay folks, but it's like primarily Cowboys, which is like wild because it's like I said, sometimes I always wonder that too. It's like, why aren't we a Texans nation or a Texan city? Why is it Cowboys? Because Cowboys is like farther up north. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I mean, I just think that it's just great to just be a Cowboys fan just because it's like, you're going to have a disappointment, but that's the fun of it. Like to get all riled up, during the games and like, post like sad tweets. And I have to say, I admit loving the memes that come out after the losses. Like they are just like on point. Like those I can super appreciate. But I mean, I don't know. I'm excited for this season. I'm excited for any season that comes up when it comes to football, and even if the Cowboys don't make the Super Bowl, I'm still going to watch it, because that's just all about being a football fan.
Yeah, you guys realize that she said Cowboy Nation, Texans, and Packers, but she didn't mention the Falcons. That's pretty bad. That's terrible.
Yeah. It's interesting, Candice. You mentioned the Texans, and I think a big part of why there's a lot more Cowboys fans, and I want to get your input on this too. Do you think it's because of the rich history the Cowboys have had compared to the Texans? Of course, Texans, newer organization, haven't really hit too many highlights, but what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that plays a big role?
Prescott.
No, and I will say, and because I've heard stories of my mom like saying that when she was she was younger, like her and her siblings would gather on the TV and watch the Cowboys. Like they were a Cowboys family. And so, like I said, I just like, it goes back to a culture, not only just, being a Cowboys fan in general, but just like the family like environment that it brings, because like you said, you're watching with your family, you're growing up with them. She always talks about Roger Staubach and, watching him and, him being the legend back in the day. And then like with my era, like when I grew up watching, it was like Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irving. And so it's just like kind of just seeing it evolve. And then like for me, not that I want my son to be a Cowboys fan, he could pick whatever team he is, but I'm having him kind of grow up with that. And I feel like it just kind of is an evolution or like evolves per like generation. And so I just feel like that's what makes it super special. And specifically in San Antonio, because San Antonio is that puro SA. We are we are super family oriented. You for some reason, like you ran into people that you went to high school with, or like that was always the first question you see with people. It's like, well, what high school did you go to? And it's such a San Antonio question. And so I think like just having, that type of environment, and it kind of grows up or grows between generation to generation. But yeah, I think that's what, in my opinion, is why it makes it so special here in San Antonio.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Rock, go for it.
Rudy. You kind of can compare it to how the Spurs culture is in San Antonio. You grow up for generations, from your grandparents to now, parents, they put you on the Spurs, like Candice says about the Cowboys. But I want to add in, if you look at the population of the Cowboys culture and the fans, it's mostly Hispanic. Being San Antonio and Texas being Hispanic culture, you get a lot of fans from Mexico and California. So that's just going to factor into it, and getting those generations passed on and on and on. It's only going to keep on grow. I mean, if you look at, the Raiders or the 49ers, it's a predominantly Hispanic fan base as well, and they're huge. Mm-hmm. So I think the funny thing is, as much as people hate on the Cowboys and talk about the Cowboys and everything, y'all are still watching, man. It's rent-free in everyone's hair. And I'm just waiting till the day we win the Super Bowl, because I just know everyone in America is going to be so mad the Cowboys won. It's going to be the most talked about thing. And Rudy's not going to hear me shut up about it every single day. And I feel like I'm going to have that same feeling when the Cubs finally won the World Series and forever. That's going to be the feeling that me and Candice are going to have. And we're going to be the happiest people in the world, because I'll be able to say I finally see the Cowboys win in my lifetime.
Dude, wait a minute. You said because everybody's watching the Cowboys. Well, son of a bitch, man. They play the game every week. You're forced to watch a Cowboys game.
Win or lose, you're talking about the Cowboys, man. It's rent-free.
I can go an entire year without talking about the Cowboys.
I will bet on that, Rudy. You cannot.
Okay, so no podcast for the rest of this football season, because you're going to make me talk about the Cowboys. That's a fact.
We can make it better right now, dude. I mean, okay, we can put some money on it or anything you want. I guarantee you cannot go a week without talking about the Cowboys.
You're putting me in a spot here, because if we're doing a sports podcast, you're going to have to talk about the Cowboys.
Exactly. See?
Well, technically, Rudy, you don't have to talk about the Cowboys on the podcast.
No, I technically don't. We can have Candice host the show, and then I'll just stay off to the side.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's fine. Guys. So Candice brought up something that I remember her talking to me about when we were texting in the chat. I think was her son. She wants her son to grow up to be a Cowboy fan, but he has his heart set on another team.
Well, he could be. If he does, he does.
Is it the Lions? I hope not. I hope it's not the Lions at all, because that's Derek and Shemaya's team.
Well, we'll see. We'll see when he starts like talking more. Well, no, but I mean, like for me, for instance, the reason I'm such a Cowboys fan, like I said, it's just I grew up around it. So it's like I don't feel like I had a choice. Not like my parents were like, oh, you have to be a Cowboys fan. It was just what I saw, and so I got familiar with the players. I mean, my brother had a VHS of like the 12 Days of Christmas Cowboys or whatever back in like 94 with Tom Landry. So it's like, I just grew up with it. And so I just kind of like assimilated to being a Cowboys fan. And I love the culture about it. I love everything of, people talking all this mess and like, saying, oh, like they suck. Like, why are you a Cowboys fan? But it's like, because I love them. Like, like I don't tell you to be whatever fan you want to be. It's like, just, but I think, and honestly, that's the beauty of being a sports fan, is because no matter what team, no one's ever happy. And I like, being able to like have a conversation to someone about it, or, like you're at a game or you're at Buffalo Wild Wings or wherever you watch a game and you're just like cheering a game, and then you have the opposing team. And it's just like, there's something about that environment that is like so comforting. And for me, like, it's super weird, but what's comforting to me, like it helps me put me to sleep, is like sports commentators. Like, I don't know what it is.
Damn.
It's so soothing.
It honestly is.
Right. Like their voices are just so like subtle. It's awesome. Like sometimes I'll just pop on ESPN and just like let the commentators just like put me to sleep. I mean, not in a bad way, but you know what I mean? It's like so soothing. But I think also like the reason that happens to me is because like my dad and my brother, when they would watch the Spurs game, and I don't know if this was like maybe back in the 90s or just a 90s thing, whatever, but like they would have 1200 WAI playing like the play-by-plays, and then they would turn off they would have the sound off on the TV. So they would listen to play-by-play on the radio and just like look at the picture. It was like the weirdest thing, but it like was so soothing. And so I don't know if it's just the voices that put me to sleep now, but I just find such a comfort in that. It's super weird.
Well, you gotta stay awake. Listen to Rock's voice. You'll stay awake. It's like nails on a chalkboard screeching.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's the way.
I kind of relate to you, because I mean, the most legendary voices that everyone gets excited about is Sunday Night Football. That's an example. Chris Collinsworth, Al Michaels. Like you hear the sound that comes in the NBC intro, and you're like, oh, here they come.
Wait a minute. I was on Sunday night. My voice wasn't soothing.
It was all right.
You were there with me.
I mean, when I met you, it was kind of soothing. Now I kind of got used to, so I got to bust your balls a little bit.
Oh man, I get it.
But going back to what me and Candice talked about growing up as a Cowboys fan, how did you grow up as a Falcons fan, or were you a Cowboys fan before?
So I'm
Rudy. Were you a Cowboys fan, Rudy?
No. I was not a Cowboys fan. When I started really getting into football, I actually liked Deion Sanders back in the day when he was with the Atlanta Falcons. So I started following him. Jerry Glanville, the man in black. I mean, the quarterback situation was crap. So I really didn't care much. I mean, that was back with Jeff George, Chris Miller, those guys. But San Antonio's own Tommy Nobis, Thomas Jefferson graduate, and passed away a few years back, still isn't in the Hall of Fame, which is total bullshit because he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, is the reason why I'm an Atlanta Falcon fan. My dad loved Tommy Nobis, watching him play in high school. I have family that went to Jefferson. I had an uncle that actually didn't play, but was in the same era as Tommy Nobis. So just knowing that Mr. Falcon himself, drafted by the Atlanta Falcons, one of the best Falcons to ever play the game, it just kind of drew me to the Atlanta Falcons. And that's the reason why I've been a Falcon fan my entire life. I could be, like a bum that just decides to, oh, you know what, I'm tired of losing. Let me go cheer for the New England Patriots and Tom Brady and these guys. But I don't do anything like that. That's the main reason why I'm a Falcon fan. So if I can do anything, and if I can talk Candice's son to being a Falcon fan, I will do everything that I can to make sure that happens.
Well, I am a Jefferson graduate, so.
I was going to ask what's high school. So, wow.
Yeah. Yep, I was a Jefferson Mustang. I was a cheerleader and a lasso, so I was all involved.
See, I give you props because I went to school at James Madison Elementary, which is down the street from Jefferson. Went to Longfellow for a year. Then I hated it there, so I left. I would have gone to Jeff. That would have been my high school. Yeah. You got to guess where I went to high school?
Oh, was it SAISD? Within SAISD?
No, it was. I'll give you that much of a hint. It wasn't SAISD.
Marshall.
No.
Horrible.
Jesus. I actually went to the same school as one Jeff Garcia. That's Central Catholic. So I'm a button. Whatever, Rock. I'm a button. I'm whatever the hell button is, whatever it is. So that's what I went to. But no, I mean, that's why I'm a Falcon fan. Tommy Nobis there. So that's my little background. We're gonna get into some more background with Candice here. This is Sweep the League Radio. Rock, Rudy, Stats, Shemaya, Derek Gervin, our guest Candice Avila Garcia. Don't forget Baller Boys podcast every single Tuesday. I Am Refocused Radio. Shemaya's got a lot of interviews coming up. Be sure to listen to Baller Boys podcast and I Am Refocused Radio along with Sweep the League. Go follow us on Twitter. where you will get all the fun, the laughs, and all the sports content you could have. That is Sweep the League Radio, Sweep the League Network, Baller Boys Podcast. I am Refocused Radio. All right, so we talked Cowboys. We got bowling coming up. Everybody, I figured talking about being a millennial mom would be the big part, but I'm gonna save the bowling till the very end because all you dumbasses out there just pissed off Candice. So we're gonna let her get her rage out later on. So we're gonna talk about something, something different. Being a mom, I'm a dad. Rock and Stats, they don't know if they're a dad yet. I mean, they're probably the way Rock goes. I'm not saying I don't doubt it, but I mean, I'm thinking,
I mean, them short shorts though.
Those short shorts, man. So Candice doesn't know this story. We did the Salvation Army kettle drive or Pray to Kettle. So it was myself, Rock, and Derek were out there at La Cantera. And Rock tells me and Derek, I guarantee you I can make every woman that walks by donate something just by his eyes. Just by his eyes. So that day, Candice, we raised, I think it was like $900.
Shut up.
No, yeah. And it was during Rock shift only. So I was able to raise $50 now. So my mom felt sorry for me and dropped $50 in the kettle. So yeah, Rock has that thing. So that's why I say he's got to be a dad somewhere. He's probably gonna kill me later. But
dude.
Rock, I gotta ask. Do you have OnlyFans? I'm just wondering at this point.
Wow, do you have an OnlyFans? That's a hell.
I don't know. I mean, I know Candice saw my story yesterday with the short shorts. I'm wearing short shorts right now.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I'd be pissed off if you weren't wearing short shorts.
I'll show y'all.
I mean,
no,
Rock,
we don't know. Keep the camera up. Keep the camera up.
No, Rock. I was gonna say you could. Oh my gosh.
Well, good thing that it's a small window. I didn't see anything. So
Yeah.
that's perfect. For me. That's perfect. Okay, so yeah, that was the story behind that. But being a millennial mom, you and I were talking. My daughter comes up, says, "Dad, this guy looks sus." I'm like, "What the hell is sus? What's suspect?" Okay, she says, she doesn't even call me dad sometimes. She's like, "Bruh." I'm like, "What the hell, bruh? I'm not your friend. I'm your dad." I can't get used to that. But that's Gen X right there. That's me. I'm still in that little, I don't know how you call it, but I've got the old school, but I've mellowed out. I'm kind of like the cool dad or whatever is what she says, but I think she just says that when she wants something. But being a millennial mom, there's a lot of millennial moms out there. Give the best advice you can and let them know.
I mean, the best advice is just do your best every day, and that's it. That's all you can do is your best. Nothing's 100%. Nothing ever will go through like you like it. You just got to roll with the punches. And I'm learning that a lot with planning a 2-year-old's birthday party. Like, can we talk about that?
Yes, you brought that up. Oh God, yes.
Like, how insane it is. Like, I am like trying to plan, and there's like so many. I feel like I need to have a committee for my child's like birthday party. Like, can we have like the cake committee and then like the balloon committee? Because I'm just like, what the hell? Like, just trying to find the place. Like, I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll do the zoo, the kitty park. And I was like, but it's freaking August. Like, it's gonna be hot. Like, I'm gonna have like kids passing out on me. So I'm like, no, that's not a good idea. So then I was like, you know what? Let's do the safe route. Let's do Peter Piper Pizza. And so that's what we're gonna do. But I'm just like, even just planning that, like, I just like, what? Why is it so complicated? And I was like, and then I think about my childhood, and I'm like, is this why my parents didn't like do a lot of birthday parties? Because it was like, why are we gonna like spend all this time to like create something that like you're gonna forget about, or it's gonna be like over in an hour, Yeah. And not that I'll do that because obviously you want to like break that like generational trauma, right? But it's like I'm just like so over my head on this. I'm just like, how is like I feel like I'm planning a freaking wedding is what it feels like. But then I'm like, well, maybe it's just me like overcomplicating things because I am a perfectionist. Like I want things like over the top all the time. But then I'm like, no, this is just literally a 2-year birthday party with pizza. And I'm just like, it's insane.
I get it. I get it completely. I get it. Cause I've had to plan birthday parties before, and we've done the incredible pizza when she was like 2, I think. And when they give you the bill and it's like $800 and something dollars, I'm like, hold up, really? 800 something for a
Hold on, let me
party?
start a GoFundMe right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's when I needed Uncle Rock to have the OnlyFans, was back then when those parties were really taking off. But I saw the frustration in your face. I don't think Rock and Stat saw it unless they saw your story where you had a mishap with the cake. Is that what it was?
Like, okay, dude, I literally thought my son's birthday was next Saturday. So I even told my husband, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is the weekend we have to get everything done. Like we have to get cake, let's get decorations. Like you should see me on Monday. I was like going all crazy over San Antonio, like trying to book the cake, get decorations, get plates, like napkins, like all that stuff. And then when I get to the cake and I'm like ordering it at Sam's, and the girl's like, oh, it'll be for the 27th, right? And she's like, oh, that's in 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh
no.
cool. So I'm like, and this is like the thing is, the cake was the last thing on my list to do that Monday. So like I literally, it would have been great if I did that first, because then I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have been stressing the whole time. And then I'm like, it was the last thing. So I was like, this is awesome. Like just for me to stress the whole day and realize that it's literally in 2 weeks, not 1 week.
I really felt bad for you that day. I saw it and I thought, oh my God. And then you said, oh, well, it's not for another 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, I wonder if she's gonna say, you know what? I can't make Sweep the League this week because I'm pretty.
No, I wouldn't do that to y'all guys. I know y'all need me. You know, you need me.
We do. They get tired of seeing my ugly face and Rock's pretty face, and they don't see Stats at all, so they don't know what he looks like. That's the crazy part. So yeah, being a dad is tough. I want to get with Rock and I want to get with Stature because they're relatively like young. I mean, all you guys are young. Shit. I mean, I'm the old man here, but if you guys had to pick one place, just right off the top of your head, to have a birthday for your kid that you don't know about yet, where would it be? Would you take the Rock? My opinion, you would probably have it at Gold's Gym, but that's just me.
No, I mean, I sympathize for Candice and y'all too, just because it is hard. I've seen my mom stress out about planning birthdays. If people didn't know, I'm one of 10 kids.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're all younger, so you have the anxiety of planning it, paying for it. The biggest one is making sure people go, because if your kid is there with no friends at all, that is, like you said, trauma. You know, your kid's not gonna want to have a birthday again, and you've seen that over Twitter sometimes and Instagram. You know, no one showed up for the party. That's the biggest, scariest thing for a parent, I imagine, because it's sad. You know, you don't want to just, as much as you love your family and your cousins or whatever, you want your friends there. So that's the hardest part. But I'll probably go the easy route, go Peter Piper or Chuck E. Cheese. I would say doing something at my house, but then it's like, that's even more stressful because you got to clean, you got to prepare something, you got to have people use your restroom or trying to go look in your house, and like you're just like, oh, and then you got to entertain people, host people, get drinks with parents. So it's like I don't know how
that hard. It's not as hard as you're making it seem. Because you go get pizza, you go get chips, you go get dip. So there's the food. Restroom, I mean, I'm just going to say it, at the restroom, you know, when I was a kid, they had parties at people's houses. There's a reason why, you know, she grew like 15 bushes out there. So, I mean, you got plenty of privacy out there. You can do whatever you want out there. So it's not as hard as you're making it sound, Rock.
I mean, but they're little kids. They're going to, what are you going to do if you see a little kid going and exploring your house? Like, you can't get mad at them because they're not.
Homie, the kids are in the backyard. The bushes are in back and front yard. I mean, you can make it work, homie.
I know you can, but you can't just you can make it work. But it's bound to happen. One of those, nasty old kids, those silver-toothed kids, are going to be roaming around your house.
Silver-toothed kid, holy shit! That was me. I had silver teeth back in the day. Jesus. Stats, real quick before we go into bowling, where would you have your kids' party?
Yeah, I gotta go Peter Piper on this one, man. That was my childhood. That was my childhood, man. I used to go there all the time.
That was your childhood. My childhood was Showbiz, my Pistol Pete's. That was my childhood. You guys don't know.
I have a question. Was Peter Piper's, like, did that become, or like, did Pistol Pete's become Peter Piper's? Is that what that became? Or like what? Because like I'm like Showbiz and Chuck E. Cheese, like are they intertwined?
So Showbiz and Chuck E. Cheese were basically the same thing. The only thing is with Chuck E. Cheese, they had the rat back then. Showbiz had the entire band with that big ass gorilla in the middle with the piano and all that. So they had the whole band. Pistol Pete's it was just, you guys don't know about Pistol Pete's because Pistol Pete's was like heaven on earth for pizza places. I mean, that was the place to go. And it did turn into Peter Piper's. I think Peter Piper's kind of just took it over and Pistol Pete's went under. But yeah, I mean, Pistol Pete's I had parties there all the time. So, and then I had to have parties at a park. And my birthday's in August. So it wasn't as hot back then as it is now. But yeah, so I guess Peter Piper's is the choice now. We are in the last segment of Sweep the League, the fun segment, because we're going to get into some bowling talk before we get the scores for Candice here. I'm going to let Rock and Stats give their take on the score. I'm going to give my take on the score, but a little bit of background here. I did say she bowled once or twice, and I'm a liar. I did lie. Candice used to bowl in what is now the defunct YABA YABA, which is the Young American Bowling Association or something like that, if I remember correctly. I'm going to post a picture, Candice, because I've got my YABA patches that I've had. I did find some of them. So I'm going to post a picture on social media for everybody to see. But yes, Candice was a member of that. Her brother, I did, well, weird. I know her brother actually as a bowler. And
San Antonio, man. San Antonio.
And he was actually friends with a couple of guys that I bowled up growing up with bowling too. So she has bowled before. She's bowled in the league. So for those of you assholes out there saying 94 and 93 and 100,
what was it 84 was the lowest
84
one?
or something like that.
I got 37.
A 37. No, so they're trolling you. They're joking at that point.
I'm looking at Twitter right now, and I'm just going to go down the scores that I see. So Rock came in at 225. So are you going to keep that guess, Rock?
Yeah, I'll stick 225.
Okay, so he's sticking to 225. We've got Craft Beer. Rob is saying 97. There was the 97 right there. So then we've got, let's see, Eddie the Great. He says 113. Rudy G says 100. That's not me. I'm not Rudy G. And then at 210 underscore. No, that's not me. Definitely not Rudy. I know this guy. That's definitely not me. At 210 underscore I says 126. So that is the guesses on Twitter. Now, Facebook went bananas. And we've got Victor saying 43. We've got,
oh my God.
Lupa De La Rosa, who I bowled with when he was a kid, said 78. We've got 82, 74, 105, 169, 120. Okay, Chris Galler, Candice, is he's still a current member of Sweep the League. He's a former producer, and he's a bowler like me. He's a PBA guy.
Yeah.
120 he gave you. That, I will definitely slap him for you on that sense right there. But we've got it all. So Sean Corbett says 300. You bowled a perfect game. Can we eliminate that?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, so Corbett's out. So Stats, what score do you have for Candice?
I'm gonna go 250.
250.
Yeah. I believe in you, Candice.
Rock is sticking at 225. So I don't know, and Candice hasn't told me anything. So I'm gonna go with a very conservative 221. Is what I'm going to say. 221. So I have to ask the question because everybody wants Burger Boy. And if I win Burger Boy, it's shit out of luck because I can't eat that stuff anymore. But Candice, announce to the world what your highest score is. Now, it's got to be scratch, not handicap, but scratch score.
So it is 163.
163, and I'm gonna say that nobody got that right, so we do not have a winner tonight.
Dang it.
Wow, 163.
Yeah.
Candice, bowling, how does bowling fit in all this for you? Because I was shocked when you said you were in Yaba. I'm like, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, so it's like when I tell the story, like people are always like freaked out because they're like, this is like a secret side of you I didn't even know existed. And yeah, like I started bowling, I would say like around kinderish, so around 5 years old. my parents put me in it because my brother was also a bowler. He's started when he was 5 as well, but he continued through adulthood. I kind of stopped. I went into dancing instead. But yeah, like I said, I was bowling. I had a coach. I did yaba. I would say I did it for a few years, and then we did like a family team. That it was my brother, my mom, me, and then this. I don't know who she was, but she worked at University Bowl. Her name was Robin. And I think Rudy, I talked about her with you.
Yeah.
But she was also on our team, and we were called the Hot Dogs. And so original. And so we were called the Hot Dogs. We took first place. We have the trophy. We even had like a little, like, it was like a dog toy, but it was a hot dog. That was kind of like our mascot. But yeah, I had a bowling ball. I had my own bowling ball. I had a bowling bag. It was like, I believe the bowling bag was either Mickey Mouse or Goofy. And then I had my ball, and it was like, I had my name carved into it. But yeah, I mean, I loved it. Was just, I guess it was more of a family thing, kind of like the whole Cowboys thing. You just grew up around it, so you kind of just like are brought into it. And I was those kids. I just gave everything a try, and so my parents were like, give it a try and see if you like it or not. So like I said, I did it for a few years. My brother was the person who kind of just like took it and went with it into adulthood. I just stopped. But then it was funny. So like I actually took a course in college because they offered it was like you had to take a physical education, but then you took like one like actual sport credit. And so I went to Incarnate Word and I took the bowling course, and I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. So it was like on Fridays, it was like 1 hour. And basically we all met at Astor Bowl, and we had to like bowl and everything. So it was like an hour bowling. One time I took my mom with me, which was a mistake because she was like, when you get parents involved in like bowl or any type of sports, you're going to have like that fan in the back. It's like, you can do it, but like an intense level. So she was like, it's in your blood, Candice, you're an embarrassment. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm with classmates. Like, this is not even serious. Like, this is just like a course. So wow. Yeah, that happened. It was all, I mean, we joke about it to this day. We're like, remember back in the day when I was in college and you went bowling with me and you called me out, pretty rowdy. Yeah. Still remember that.
Wow. Well, that's the history on Bowling with Candice there. And we've got a request for us to actually go bowl and record it and go live on it. So I think are you good with fulfilling that request? Because we're actually gonna do some live videos and everything. So
I'm down to bowl.
All right. So what we're gonna probably end up doing is I know Derek and Shemai will probably be involved in this. So since there is gonna be 6 of us, I think we're gonna do a doubles type thing. And Rock has already talked a lot of shit, so I don't want to be his partner.
Wow.
I don't want to be your partner. I'll be somebody else's, but I think the more experienced bowlers are Rock, myself, and Candice. So we'll kind of be like the captains, and we'll pick either Derek or, Shemaya or Stats. We'll figure out who gets picked. But either way, we'll figure something out. But yeah, we'll definitely do that for you guys after that. We're asking about that. They want to see Candice in action. I know she's probably going to beat all these guys. I don't know if she'll beat me, but
I will say my husband makes fun of like the way I bowl because you're gonna see it. Like I'm so chill. Like you have like the guys are just like they're pumped, like they're ready, like they run up there. I'm like super chill. I'm just like And so, like,
just toss it.
Yeah,
she's like a basketball, right? She's like.
She's gonna make fun of me,
but just a fair warning.
Well, Candice is gonna make fun of me probably. I think Rock, y'all saw me a video, or Rock saw a video of me bowling, so he knows already. But I used to take it really serious. I do a little bit now, but not as serious as I did back then. So we're gonna get that set up. We're gonna do some bowling here. Also, we're going to be working with Candice as well on some stuff at the end of the year. That will be coming out here very, very soon in the next couple of months. We got to close the show. And the way we close the show, Candice, is sweep or keep. This can kind of get off the rails a little bit. Basically, what it's going to be is Stats is going to give us a couple of topics, maybe 2-3 topics. You decide whether you want to sweep it or keep it. And if you want to give a take on it, give a take on it. Again, this is where a lot of 4-letter words come out. So if it happens to happen, then it does happen like that. All right, Stats, let's close the show. Give us sweep or keep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the patented segment of Sweep the League, Sweep or Keep, where you're either going to sweep it, which means you don't like what the tweet says or what the news thing is, or you're going to keep it, which means you love it and you're going to put it on the mantle above your fireplace. So let's play the game of
Can we get
Sweep
one question
or
one week? Is if
Keep.
sweep or keep, does Rock have a kid somewhere?
Every week that'll be on Sweep or Keep.
Jesus.
I love it. All right, let's begin. So, Judge Sue Robinson released a statement on the NFL appealing the 6-game suspension of the Browns. Have any of you seen this by any chance?
I have not.
You have not? Okay, so I'm going to read it real quick. So, for immediate release, I am deeply disappointed by the NFL's decision to overturn my ruling in the high-profile case regarding Mr. Derek Deshaun Watson. As you know, I spent many long hours working to produce concrete findings that the NFL has seemingly discarded. It's in God's hands now. Eat my ass, Roger. Go Browns.
Are you serious?
Sweep or keep?
This was a judge that said, "Eat my ass, Browns."
That said, eat my ass, Roger.
Oh,
Go
Roger.
Browns.
Wow. I'm just gonna keep that on the basis of her telling Commissioner Roger Goodell to eat my ass. I'm gonna keep it just based on that. That's my take right there. You have a fan of me, Candice or Rock, whichever y'all want to go.
I'll keep. That's a bold press release.
That's a huge present. Yeah.
Did you write that, Candice? Did you go off the record and write that? Was that part of your?
Very cool. I want to know who went through that approval process for that press release.
No kidding. Would that ever make it through Candice's approval at all?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so real quick before Rock gives a sweep or keep on that, how would you reword that specific statement, Candice, if you saw one of your journalists and they said, well, quote, eat my ass? I mean, how would you say, well, we can't really have that on there, and reword it?
I mean, it's like straight up. It's like, please keep it professional, sir. Like,
Would you change it to just eat my butt instead of ass? Or
she almost spit her water out. That's hilarious.
I mean, that's not a bad take, but if we want to keep it professional, I would just, you just got to get rid of it, man. Just be like, have a good day. Have a nice day.
All right, Rock, sweep or keep. Are you gonna keep the eating my ass part, or what are you doing?
Keeping that, man. That's funny, dude. Like, you just tell the commissioner, "Hey, bro, like, F you, man. Eat my ass." Like, you're cool.
That's a great one. All right, Stats, what do we got next, man?
all right, we got one more before we get to the sweep or keep sweepstakes take. So one more, and this one is got to be Dallas Cowboys related.
Oh,
all right.
God.
Yep. Should the Dallas Cowboys call up Antonio Brown? Sweep or keep?
I saw this earlier. Go ahead, Candice. I'm gonna let you start this one.
I gotta sweep this one. I know, Rock. I know, but I'm just like, dude, he's just a liability. Like, I don't know. That's just my take. I'm just seeing what he did last year, and it's just not. I don't know. I don't think it's not. It wouldn't be good for the Cowboys. It'll give him the wrong type of press.
I can see that. All right, Rock, sweep or keep.
Well, Candice is a PR expert and journalist expert, and she knows all about press and publicity. We both know publicity, any type of publicity is good publicity for Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, whether it be negative or positive, and I'm down for AB. Beyond CeeDee Lamb and Jalen Tolbert, who should have a good season, you're probably going to have Noah Brown. He hasn't looked that bad as a starting number 3. And I'd rather have AB, but I'm sweeping this because
What?
because he hasn't got ankle surgery yet. So then what's the point of bringing him on? You don't know how long his recovery time's gonna be. If he was healthy now, then all right, let's go. Minus the antics, and I would hope the Cowboys would sign him to a contract where he has to earn his take and have good behavior. But he still hasn't got ankle surgery, so you don't know how good he's gonna be coming off. But if he was healthy, I would keep it. I would sign him right away. He showed what he can do last year and be way better than a Noah Brown or Simi Fehoko or TJ Vasher. So I'm sleeping it.
Well, you've got to keep it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because outside of CD Lamb, who the hell is Dak going to throw it to? I mean, you have a lot of unproven wide receivers. I mean, yeah, you can say, you know, who's what? Gallup? I mean,
Gallup's going to be out for like 6 weeks, I think.
exactly. But you're not going to have it.
Jalen Tolbert's been looking good, but they're mostly going to use Tony Pollard and Zeke on the same time in the field. So you're going to have Pollard relatively running in the slot. You also have Turpin from the USFL, who did pretty solid. He should get a lot of return in the return game.
I like that guy. Yeah.
But you still have Dalton Schultz. I mean, Dalton Schultz was still there. He's going to be Dak's security blanket. But it's going to be coming down to how Kellen Moore relatively schemes this. I mean, not every team has 3 solid receivers. Good teams make it work. I mean, that's the reality of it. So if Kellen Moore is what he is, he better make it work this year.
So you basically what you told me was, here's this Lamborghini with no engine and a pile of shit in it. Is all. That's all you really told me. Because there's nobody outside of CeeDee Lamb. You've got to take a chance on somebody. If you're not going to take a chance on Odell Beckham, you've got to take a chance on a proven wide receiver somewhere.
Why not?
Got to keep it.
Why not take a chance on T.Y. Hilton?
Take a chance on Hilton.
Yeah, I mean, he's healthy. So
but the question isn't, will you keep T.Y. Hilton? It's an AB. I mean, if AB's the only one that you can get, I mean, you've got to take the opportunity.
I just want the Cowboys to win, man. I'm tired.
You see, it's not going to happen. They're not going to win.
I'm tired.
Everybody. Okay, so how many Super Bowls do the Cowboys have?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't looked to see them, so I don't count it.
Oh my God, that's right. They got 7. No, 5.
Yeah,
5. What do you got, stats?
I mean, you know, the Antonio Brown situation, like if let's say he does end up in Dallas, I mean, it would be a circus, like for the ages to me. I think he's really, I don't think it would work out for that locker room, like at all. I think him and Jerry would be bumping heads a lot. I could see Jerry saying some stuff about him when the antics start popping up and the feathers start getting ruffled. But I mean, the media would be all over it. So, Rock, like you said, publicity. If you're looking for any publicity, I mean, I could see that happen.
Jerry hates publicity. We all know that for sure.
They said they should get AB and then hire Candice to be his PR guy.
I mean, I'm for it.
So real quick, I gotta ask this because now Brock brought it up. How long do you last, Candice, if you're AB's PR guy?
Oh, I mean, I don't feel like I would sleep.
Probably not.
Right?
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, it would be insane. But I mean, if I'm the one that I'll stick it through. I'll stick it through till the end. So I guess it would just be if the Cowboys sign AB, can we get Rock to take off his shirt and run on the field the way he did when he quit?
Tell me, I'll do it, honestly.
Oh my God. He's done crazier shit.
Hey, AB's PR person looks good on a resume. I mean, you got to give that props.
That is
employers will look at that like, man, you dealt with this guy. Like,
yeah, you can deal with anything. All right, close it out. Close it out, Stats. We've got a winner.
All right. Yes. Actually, do you want to go ahead and announce the winner? I'll read
the sweeper keep and I'll get
yeah. So the sweeper keep sweepstakes question for the week. Sweeper keep. The Los Angeles Chargers will win the AFC West this coming season. Drum roll, please. Rudy, what you got?
The winner for this week's sweepstakes is just a Spurs fan at Spurs Roundball on Twitter. It says, even for great teams, it can be years between winning championships. So I just feel the Charger fans are left telling themselves they are only one player away again at the end of the season, hopeful without a trophy. That is our winner. And just for my only sake, I actually like the Chargers winning the AFC West. So we'll see what happens. And it's a sad moment because every good thing has to come to an end, with the exception of Rock's wonderful looks and his, heart-hungry eyes, as we like to call them. But everything does come to an end. Candice, we appreciate you coming on Sweep the League. Again, this probably isn't your only time coming on. You can come on whenever you want. if the Cowboys are pissing you off and you want to save yourself from anything, you can definitely jump on. But whenever you want to, I appreciate you coming on a whole lot here.
Yeah, I love to be here. I love to talk to you guys, and I'm excited for future episodes.
Awesome. And then we've got bowling coming up as well. So we're going to get you all the details on bowling. So for Candice Avila Garcia, and real quick, I saw on your profile, it says Emmy nominated.
Oh yeah. Did I tell you that?
You didn't tell me that. I wanted to end the show.
When I was my first couple of years, I think actually my first year in journalism as an associate producer, I helped produce a special when I was working at Fox 29, and the reporter and I were nominated for an Emmy. We didn't win, but we were nominated, which is a huge accomplishment in itself. So
that nomination, I've never been nominated for anything, so I am glad to say that Sweep the League has gone to another level as we've got an Emmy-nominated journalist on here. Thank you, Candice, for joining us tonight. We look forward to so many more times with you being on the show.
Absolutely.
So for Rock, for Stats, for Derek, who's out with Team Gervin, and Shemaya, who is probably going to be winning, is it Oscars? Is it what is it? What's the music thing? MTV Music Award. He's going to win an MTV Music Award. I know that. I don't know about the other stuff.
And maybe some Grammys.
Grammys. There you go. That's what I was thinking about. So for Shemaya, Grammy winning On the Beats, this is Rudy Campos Jr. Again, thank you for joining us for Sweeping the League. Until we sweep the league again next Wednesday, we'll see y'all then.